For over 3 decades, Stanbic IBTC Custody Services has stood as a guardian of trust, a partner in progress, and a pioneer in Nigeria's financial markets. This is the story of how vision, resilience, and innovation built a legacy that continues to shape tomorrow. It all began with a question: how do we protect the assets of institutions, ensuring confidence in a market still finding its feet?
This whole business started with the end of apartheid in South Africa, which led to the release of Nelson Mandela in 1990. And so that gave opportunity for South African businesses to move out of South Africa and operate in the rest of the world.
Standard Bank has been a pioneer in introducing custody services in Africa, starting with South Africa many decades back, and then rolling out into different countries in the region as the markets opened up.
The main driver at that point in time is to provide a secure environment for institutional assets in Nigeria.
Going from there, Standard Bank decided to deploy some of their products that are doing well in South Africa across Africa.
The global custody product was originally championed by Chase Manhattan Bank sometime in 1974 or thereabouts, as a result of a change in the United States pension law. Stanbic Bank realized the void, for providing that same opportunity in the African space. As the African space opened up for investment with key investment destinations being places like Kenya, Nigeria, and Johannesburg.
Before the dematerialization of shares, people were holding physical share certificates. The market relied on paper certificates and a lot of manual processes. Settlements could take weeks. Operational risks were very high, and foreign investors faced serious barriers to enter and exit their positions within the country because of those challenges. The arrival of the CSCS in 1997, this then now accelerated the shift from those manual processes, manual physical certificates, to electronic post-trade services. But investors still needed a local partner to connect infrastructure with real outcomes. And this is where we came in as the nominee business, as the custody business. We came in to fill those gaps.
There was no institution providing custody services in Nigeria. Stockbrokers were doing it for their own retail clients, but no serious foreign investor would give their business to a stockbroker. So they were looking for a custodian in the market. So when Stanbic Bank started in Nigeria, that gap was filled, because now they have an institution which was regulated by CBN and was actually running proper banking and custody services.
I would imagine back in the day when the business was established, you had a market that was still certificated, physical market. The CSD probably wasn't functioning. The Central Securities Depository wasn't in operations. These things all evolved, in the early 2000s, where certificates were converted into electronic record.
One of our biggest challenges at the time was education, helping clients and stakeholders understand why custody matters and why independent asset safekeeping wasn't just a nice to have, but a critical pillar for transparency and trust in the market.
So servicing clients across different time zones created a challenge, and our team had to work tirelessly around the clock to ensure that we were able to render services that were up to standard.
When it comes to the challenges, the biggest challenge we faced in the Nigerian market then was the mindset shift. We have to convince the market that paying for custody is not a cost but an investment in safety. And we were able to have conversation with the regulators in the Nigerian market to actually define what custody business is. So that was the biggest challenge that we faced, the mindset shift.
And we had a lot of investors that were already used to what's happening in London, what's happening in New York, what's happening globally. So whenever there were massive changes, in the way Nigeria was introducing its regulations, it was always a challenge. There were times when, and I remember because I was already at IBTC then, when Central Bank of Nigeria introduced the 25 billion recapitalization in 2004 for banks, and there were concerns whether Stanbic custody will remain. You know, a number of investors were calling, will the bank be recapitalized and all of that. Eventually, the money was flown in and that was sorted. But that was one of the most challenging times where investors wanted to be sure whether custody will remain or not.
Those global custodians that started with us 30 years ago, they are still with us today.
As the Nigerian market matured, so did the trust placed in Stanbic IBTC custody services. For our clients, from pension fund administrators and global custodians to asset managers and regulators, we became more than custodians. We became partners in growth. With every transaction safeguarded, with every asset accounted for, we nurtured not just portfolios, but long-term confidence in Nigeria's financial system.
The way the market has evolved obviously has also impacted the way the custody business has evolved. The market was a paper-based market where certificates were physically held, and custody at the time was just keeping custody of the certificates that were used. And obviously that also impacted the settlement process, the verification, the whole noting of those transactions that occurred manually. The format of trading at the time was open market outcry, and settlements will probably take place like in 2 weeks after a transaction. But over time, especially since the operationalization of the central securities clearing system, we have seen the custody business also evolve significantly along those lines.
We wanted investors to have the confidence that, you know, beyond what the intermediary is doing, there is some party who the investor or the market can trust with the custody of their assets. Again, the investor has the confidence that his shares are not, or his assets are not being traded without their knowledge. And when corporate actions happen, the custody team would also sit in to ensure that, you know, the benefits are actually well distributed according to the actions that have been made.
The relationship with the custody business is one that's very responsive, very attentive. I think they've had outstanding people, not just running the business, but also being connected with the business over these many years.
There's so many key differentiators about Stanbic IBTC that I can articulate. The flexibility to make what seems impossible possible by offering innovative solutions in our hour of need.
Well, Stanbic IBTC has been one of the very first custodial business in Nigeria, and they've held their sway. So for us at the SEC, having registered them being a registered function, we have taken our time to continue to monitor their activities. And so for us, at present, they're in good standing, and we'll continue to watch over them, being their regulators.
Trust is built not only on people, but on systems. Over the years, technology has become the backbone of custody at Stanbic IBTC, enabling transparency, efficiency, and global standard security. From pioneering digital reporting to setting benchmarks for the industry, our innovations continue to define the future of custody services in Nigeria.
So in terms of digitization, there was a lot of changes that happened, and from swift messaging, where we were, if I say we, Stanbic IBTC was pioneering the landscape within the market.
You know, we contributed towards incremental improvement in digitizing or automating the market in different ways, in communication, swift technology, swift communication, processes, and all of that, which we did quite a lot of.
Stanbic was the co-founder of the Association of Assets Custodians in Nigeria. So that was key. And why was that key? Is because now we had a voice. From a custodian point of view, we had a voice within the market that we can go to the regulator as one voice. So any changes that is happening in the market, we can write to the regulator, and it's just not coming from Stanbic. So as a co-founder, it is quite key for us to change the landscape within the market from a custodial and a capital markets perspective.
We also had to engage with policymakers, especially at the central bank, to advocate for policies and processes that would make Nigeria not lose out, because we were like the door to the market.
Clients partner with us because we offer more than technical safekeeping. We provide them with absolute certainty in an unpredictable world. Our leadership is uniquely rooted in our profound understanding of the Nigerian financial landscape, and this is reinforced by our global strength. So we contribute a great deal to the peace of mind that they require to continue building those legacies.
Behind every system, behind every transaction are people, the dedicated men and women of Stanbic IBTC Custody Services. Their passion, discipline, and culture of excellence form the heartbeat of this story. For some, it has been a lifelong journey, decades of service, witnessing milestones that shaped not only their careers, but the market itself.
About the people who do this work, the level of expertise that is required for us to be the market leaders that we are today. It's not just about showing up, but it is about exercising, applying, making sure that we bring our best to our clients, who see us as faithful stewards of their resources, knowing that whatever resource they commit to us is safe and will be applied using sound judgment.
Custody embodies responsibility. You must create processes that are dependable, that are resilient, that are compliant, because clients rely on us.
Working in this market basically spells responsibility. You're entrusted with other people's investments, huge amounts of monies from investors all over the world, and that requires precision. It requires integrity, accountability, and this requirement is, for every single day.
The very most important one for me was basically where we migrated paper CCIs in the industry to the electronic form without disrupting service and impacting the clients in any way.
It's difficult to pick one proud moment or one specific proud moment, because there has been various of such moments across the 15 years that I worked with with the bank and worked within custody. Basically being part of a team that has successfully supported very high transaction on a daily basis, ensuring that there is zero asset loss, ensuring that despite the various challenges that you would expect from a growing capital market like Nigeria, that we have uninterrupted services. Being part of that team alone was something to be very proud of.
Our foresight did help us transform Nigeria's financial landscape, paving the way for automation, transparency, and of course international participation. Fast forward to today, and that commitment remains unwavering. Stanbic IBTC continues to power Nigeria's investment ecosystem with innovation, resilience, integrity.
30 years is not an end, it is the beginning. As the markets evolve and technology reshapes possibilities, Stanbic IBTC Custody Services remains future-focused, stronger, smarter, and more resilient than ever. With a new generation rising, the commitment remains the same, safeguarding trust while unlocking the future.
Our next chapter is focused on deepening digitalization and leveraging AI-powered technology to further elevate the service experience for our clients.
Technology and market expansion have been key catalysts in driving significant transformation and market infrastructures and how they adopt and prompting exchanges and market infrastructure to assess their exchange offerings and operating models and then adapt product offerings in response to those changes.
Technology will play a significant role in shaping the future growth of custody services, while market expansion will continue to drive scale and product diversification.
We see technology as a key enabler and leveraging it to drive client experience, risk management, automation, efficiency, insights, largely data-driven insight, and deliver seamless operations. At the same time, market expansion, we believe, would allow us to support our clients, partner them across their various requirements in terms of various asset classes they're interested in, but more importantly, look at their interests on both domestic and a cross-border basis.
Our business is one of trust, and it's been 30 years of uncompromising commitment to trust and building the confidence of our clients. Commitment to doing the right business the right way, by exercising the right levels of skill, care, and diligence in the business we do with our clients.
We stayed very relevant by not standing still. Over and over, we reinvent ourselves, and in the last 30 years, we've navigated every market cycle.
This company is built on consistency and values. Custody business is a trust business, and trust is built over time. And this company is the Stanbic IBTC group, I would say, has remained very consistent. And I think for me, the major area of consistency is in its personnel. Career progression, succession planning, the same people who started as the people still there, that gives a lot of confidence to clients, especially in the custody business.
That foundation laid by the various managers, the supporters, the shareholders at the inception of the business and the franchise is very crucial. And that foundation, we can proudly say, is the base for what we do today.
That vision has become not just a reality, but a legacy. And for Stanbic IBTC, this journey is more than longevity. It represents trust earned over decades, standards upheld consistently, and institutions strengthened for the future.
Staying ahead, I think, means to us anticipating change, often orchestrating it rather than reacting to it. We will continue to invest in our people, platforms, partnerships, and in doing this, we will continue to uphold the highest standards of governance, integrity. We will continue to innovate responsibly, ensuring that Stanbic IBTC Custody remains a trusted, future-proof custodian for generations to come.
At Stanbic IBTC, we are committed to accelerating our digital transformation journey, expanding into emerging asset classes, and strengthening our regulatory and compliance framework. We will continue to invest in building a highly engaged workforce and a vibrant community of innovators, recognizing that the future will be shaped by creativity, agility, and value creation.
As an institution, we're guided by the core value of boldly pioneering and the leadership identity of being centered in Africa and innovating for the future. These principles serve as strong anchors for our strategic positioning, the breadth of our service offerings, and the solutions we deliver to clients.
So the next phase for the business, which is the Stanbic IBTC custody business, is about deepening value beyond our current capabilities, beyond our custody safekeeping capabilities. We are focused on expanding our mandate as a strategic partner to our key clients, enhancing market advocacy, advisory capabilities, strengthening our regional connectivity, most importantly, supporting the growth of our key clients at the Nigeria capital market. And in doing this, we will continue to do this while staying true to the trust we have built over the past 30 years.
Our strategic objective is to enhance our value-driven commitment to clients by broadening our service portfolio to address their dynamic and emerging requirements. This initiative encompasses a transition beyond traditional financial instruments to include a broader range of services.
For 30 years, Stanbic IBTC Custody Services has protected more than assets. We have safeguarded trust, nurtured growth, and shaped markets. Today, as we look ahead, our promise remains unwavering to continue leading with resilience, innovation, and excellence.
It is a significant milestone to achieve 30 years of doing business anywhere in the world. So I'd like to congratulate the custody team, for achieving this milestone. I'd like to thank them for the hard work and commitment that they have shown in building an enviable custody business in Nigeria, with assets under custody of 31.6 trillion naira, which is about $22 billion. That is significant.
Happy 30th anniversary,
Stanbic IBTC
Custody Service.
And we are proud of this. Thank you.